4 games down, 4 to come here on stage 2 at the Ladbrokes Players Championship Finals this afternoon. We've got Danny Nopper, World Series Darts finalist, runner-up, taking on heavy metal Ryan Searle, rapid Ricky Evans against the bronze Adonis Steve Boulton, primetime Matty Edgar against Chizzy Dave Chisholm, one of the form players in the world of darts right now. But before all that, it is Keegan Brown, the Needle, the man from the Isle of Wight, taking on X-Factor Andy Boulton. We've seen deciding leg wins for John Henderson, Mervyn King, Darius Lamanauskas, and quite a convincing win for Brendan Dolan. The top performer, undoubtedly, Mervyn King, certainly in terms of the averages. John Henderson might have dodged a bit of a bullet, well, 3 of them in fact against Ryan Joyce, but there was some spectacular stuff along the way. It's down to these two to try and match it, and Keegan Brown has produced some spectacular stuff this year, a man who has beaten Michael van Gerwen twice on big stages this year on the European Tour.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg is Keegan to throw first. Game on.
This is a fascinating game because in the old format of this tournament, Keegan Brown would have qualified at number 32. In the old format, Andy Boulton would not have because he was number 33. But the 2-time reigning and defending Portland Open champion, that is Andy Boulton, has been playing sneakily well this year. He's been plodding along, doing what he's been doing for the last few years as a darting journeyman. Without pulling up any massive trees, he has been plugging away and earning some cash.
He's always good for a run here or there, but this year he's had 3 quarter-final runs in the Players' Championship Series, which is why he's almost into the top half of the seedings.
100.
Keegan Brown, a man who has won one of these Players' Championship events. It was a long while ago, though. Back to when he was an up-and-coming player, way back in 2015, won his Players' Championship event.
It was Coventry, wasn't it? The Ricoh Arena?
Yeah.
Beat Adrian Lewis in that final with the telephone number average.
And it's only really this last sort of 18 months, maybe, that Keegan has started to get his act together again, started sort of showing signs that he could go and become the player
95.
His youth record predicted he would be into the world's top 32 in the 2-year ranking system for the first time this year, which certainly surprised me.
56.
I thought, well, he must have been there at some point, but not actually the case.
Brown's going to come back for the 94, and I'll be very interested to see where he goes. Will it be the bullseye or will he be aggressive? Well, that's a very aggressive bullseye to leave himself double 16 after the 12.
62.
Wasn't far away, and Andy Boulton has got to be thinking, how am I sitting on 121 after the previous visit? Should have been way south of 100. But it'd be typical Andy Boulton if he took this out on the bull.
51. Not to be.
57. He 32. On the first leg.
Nicely done. Former world youth champion pins the double 16. We will see a new world youth champion crowned this weekend. It will be either Keane Barry, the lad who you will see at Ali Pali as well, young Irish player who looks like a star in the making, or Adam Gowlas.
34.
Sorry, Luke Humphries, I did beg your pardon. Completely done Luke down there. It is Adam Gowlas or Luke Humphries. Adam Gowlas, I mean, it is an astonishing story that he is embarked on this year. He only started playing darts in February. First time he picked up a set.
Yeah, Gowlas is going to be in the World Youth Final and the JDC World Championship Final. It's quite incredible. But youth darts in the Czech Republic, with players like Tomasz Hudek, and the Republic of Ireland right now is exploding.
Yes, it really is. Yeah, Keane Barry, of course, in the JDC World Final. So many kiddies darts tournaments, it's hard to keep track. Fair to say Andy Boulton hasn't played any youth stuff for a while. But he's always been there or thereabouts. You know, he dropped off the tour, got back on it, been to Q School, got his card back. Now, you know, quite comfortably qualifying for this.
216s. Oh, that's clean and clinical from X Factor. Now, Keegan next month will be going back to a very happy hunting ground. Over the last couple of years, Ali Pali's had some brilliant victories. And 2 years ago, when he was in danger of losing his card, he stood up and was counted with some fantastic performances, one of which was disposing of James Wade. And that said to me that he wasn't about to lie down and let his card expire. And since then, he has been completely different.
You know, there's been a few players who've, you know, they're not the youngest, they're not 17, 18-year-olds, but they're still young players that most of their careers ahead of them who have taken big step forwards this year. Keegan Brown is one of them. Chris Dobie's another, and you just kind of think it is their time to start doing stuff. You know, you can poodle around for years and years and make money from darts. So if you want to be a big force in the game, then it's about time that those guys started having impacts in big tournaments. Certainly Chris Dobie has this year. Keegan Brown might do this weekend. Down for double 10.
65.
Well, Andy Boulton showed some great mathematical skills on the previous visit. He could have easily gone for the treble 19 or the single 19 to leave a finish. But he went for the bullseye at 25 and left himself 164. This would be an amazing finish. Only just misses out. And Keegan has been warned. Can't afford to miss the double 10 when he comes back.
96.
Very hard to dispose of as Andy Boulton, because he'll keep plugging away. Double 5. And there you go. These are the shots that Andy Boulton makes you pay.
68.
Well, he was a long way back in this leg. But one dart at tops.
28.
Would have secured a break of throw. A let off for Keegan Brown.
He'll be very happy that he bust the score. It's the beautiful thing about the bust rule. I had a very long conversation with John Gwynn recently about how darts within the PDC system, we always play the bust rule. And at the start of all of the Players' Championship events that these guys play in to qualify for this event here, they are read the rules before every tournament. Used to be done by the great Tommy Cox, who is no longer with us. It's now done by Graham Fairhurst and some of the other deputies. But they always talk about the bust rule applies. So if, for instance, you're Keegan Brown and you've got 20 left and you go single 10, single 5, you have the option of busting your score and going back to where you were. There are places around the world that don't use that rule. So the bust rule does not apply.
100.
So if you leave something and you bust, you go back to where you were the previous dart, not the previous visit.
Lots of fun legs on double 1 then, yeah?
Well, Keegan would have left himself on 5 instead of 20, which makes things a lot more complicated.
Oh, very good, Keegan Brown. Does utilise the board. May not be the biggest 180 hitter in the world, Keegan Brown, but he is. Big fan of the 177s, the 174s, 171s, things like that. Does move around the board. And he'll certainly employ some odd checkout combinations. Just keep an eye on what he leaves at the end of legs.
I particularly like his 152. 2 treble 19s for double 19. 60 and bull for Boulton. And Keegan has a fabulous opportunity here to get himself to the halfway point and get himself a 2-leg gap.
Okay, he's hit the double. So he goes next door for the double next to it.
40.
And cannot find it.
87.
This is not an easy one, though. It can be made to look easy, but it can be made to look exceedingly difficult.
Trying to do the Kipling and make it exceedingly good.
77.
Not got what the doctor ordered. And Keegan, with no hesitation, straight onto the hockey in a flash. Doesn't get double 4.
The first two weren't particularly convincing efforts, were they? They were a long way away. Is that too close? No, it isn't. He's used it expertly, Andy Boulton. I mean, Andy Boulton, to be fair, with the amount of time he's been playing the game, he's got a very old-school, conventional setup. He should know how his darts behave and how he can use them. Never really been one to change anything in his setup, Andy Boulton. Not that I've witnessed in the years of watching him.
I think he might have changed the colour of his flights. That's about it.
Yeah, his flights have occasionally changed. I'm not sure if these are the ones where he's got like a little... It's like a Bitmoji Andy Boulton on the flights.
No, I think it's the different ones.
Ah. He's got rid of his Andy Boulton's clip art dart shirt. That's been replaced with something slightly more stylish nowadays.
Yeah, those barrels have seen a lot of places. They are very well worn. I wonder how many times Andy Boulton has repointed these barrels, because points do wear down, they get shorter.
I'd just be interested. I mean, if these are the same barrels he's been using for, I don't know, say 20 years, I just want to know what weight they are. They might be 3 grams lighter than they were when he bought them.
Easily.
They might be different weights, the 3 of them. Certainly, Rob Cross, notably, the darts he was using from a kid, until he made some new ones by his sponsors. You know, there was 2.5 grams difference between the heaviest and the lightest.
Yeah, a friend of mine from up north, Graham Stoddart, he used the dart for so long that the barrel became skinnier than the stem.
No need to go 20 and bull. So a single 20 will leave him double 6. Oh, what are you doing, Keegan? The bust rule applies, man. You should be nowhere near that.
Well, he's got to stop kicking himself now and get the job done. Now he may need the bull. He went a different route. Bullseye.
60.
And now Boulton can really make him pay. If this goes, Keegan's going to feel very sore.
Double 16 to break. And Andy Boulton, for the second time in this game, misses a dart at double to break Keegan Brown when he had no right to be in the leg.
17.
Well, 2 legs in a row, I've seen Keegan come to the hockey on a double very swiftly. It's very unlike him to do that. Andy Boulton has taken the lead. And I'm just questioning as to why Keegan is almost running to the hockey. He's not taking a breath. It's almost like he fully expects to hit it without thinking. But it's dangerous when Andy Boulton takes the lead, because now he can see the finish line. He may only be halfway, but he's ahead of Keegan now, and he doesn't want to relinquish that.
47.
Well, a lazy mistake from Keegan Brown could cost him this match. He wanted a single 20 to leave 3 darts at double 16, and he hit the treble and bust his score back to 85. And that's all it is. He was lazy. He wasn't giving it his full care and attention. He should be nowhere near it. You're better off chucking it in double top. You're better off chucking it out the board. You should be nowhere near the treble 20, but he's just casually tossed it into the 20 segment, and it may cost him that leg. Yes, he got more darts later, but it should have been a lot easier. That leg should have been done and dusted, and Andy Boulton should not have got a sniff. An X Factor is backing it up with a pretty solid leg here, and he could open up a 2-leg gap. And Keegan really will start feeling the pressure now.
65.
And when you've done it, when you find yourself a couple of legs behind, and you think it's all your own fault, it is very difficult to banish that from your mind.
440. Andy requires 76.
He's got to hope that Andy doesn't take the 76. Tops it is.
56.
You mentioned the word banish, Dan. If he takes this, that 85 finish will be banished.
6 or a 10. Double 16. Well, when he does leave it, he's all right on it. And you see the celebration from Keegan Brown. Maybe he has made amends. He has had twice the number of darts at double that Andy Boulton has had in this game. But the problem for Keegan is it is still on throw, and this game is still tight.
57.
Keegan's pretty much inherited the pink shirt, hasn't he, from Peter Manley now?
I think so, although... do you remember MVG had a similar huge shirt for a while, didn't he? I think he played the match play one year.
Yeah, I don't think Michael wants to talk about that.
No, I don't think he does.
He looks better in green.
He does.
He looked better in the black shirt, which was worn, I think, once.
I don't remember the black
It was
one.
against James Hubbard at the O2.
Oh, that didn't go well, did it?
No, it didn't.
77.
World Youth Championship title. It will be won on Sunday. The World Youth Championship title won by Keegan Brown a few years ago. The World Youth Championship title, which was never won by Michael van Gerwen and will never be won unless they change the criteria quite drastically.
434.
Would have been an interesting question back in 2012, wouldn't it? What will Michael van Gerwen win after this World Youth Final, after he's lost the second one in a row? Well, the answer to that is everything.
Everything. Literally every single major TV tournament in the PDC has now been won by Michael van Gerwen, having completed the green sweep at the Champions League of Darts.
62.
Is that what it's called, the green sweep?
I think so. If not, we've just called it that.
A bit like the Tiger Slam in golf.
Yes.
He won the 4 in a row, but in a totally different order.
96.
Yeah.
170.
Now then, we've seen a 170 over on the main stage. Jelle Larsen produced one. Keegan Brown, the first dart is perfect. The second dart, he'll be so annoyed that he doesn't get a dart at the ball for the leg.
And here we go, 105.
Will he get a shot at a double? He won't. And now Keegan has options. Will he get 2 at a double? He won't. Double 16. Oh, it's come to his rescue again. You're right, Dan, when he leaves it, he's lethal on it.
Well, I have to say, that dart into the single 16 was a fabulous guide for it, wasn't it?
100.
And Andy Boulton, he took out 104 to win his first leg of the game, but the combination finishing has not been working for him. He really could have taken complete control of this game if he'd been pinning those finishes. I mean, admittedly, he'd have to pin every single one of them. The 105, there was a 68 that he missed a dart at double. The 112 he missed as well, although he was allowed back to the ball and won the leg. He's just not quite there. This isn't the Andy Boulton that we've seen making quarterfinals pretty regularly this year. It's only a mid-80s average, but Keegan Brown, his very, very average doubling so far today. 13 missed darts at double. That has dragged his average down to the mid to low 80s as well. So this game is very much up in the air. The winner could take on the #1 seed here, and the recently retained Grand Slam champion, Gerwyn Price. Price will play Mickey Mansell in his opener. And you would think whoever comes through this match is going to have to raise their game by at least 15 points in the average to live with Price if it is the Iceman that they face.
He's just checking, because from his view, it looked in. It wasn't, but it's still a good visit. Should be a level game after the next visit from Andy Boulton.
57. Andy require 56.
I mean, he's gone for the 18 there, where a 20 would leave 130, which is a much easier finish.
I agree. That was a mistake. That was not a mistake, but it was just unfortunate. But now, the caveat to that mistake from Brown is that he does have an out finish. Can he get another bull? He can, double 16! Bingo! Oh, that was sublime from Keegan Brown. He made the mistake of leaving it, but boy did he make up for it.
It is not about making the right decision, it's about making your decision right. Keegan Brown should not have left 132. It does not matter, because a man who is only hitting a quarter of his darts at double has just gone bull, double 16, and he is now throwing for the match. Absolutely superb from the Needle.
Quite the injection of brilliance into this game from the Needle.
60.
The man who comes from the Isle of Wight and is the only player to come from the Isle of Wight on the tour.
57.
He has got to be one of the biggest celebrities that lives on the Isle of Wight.
I think it's him and Bear Grylls, isn't it? That's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
Is it Bear Grylls in the Isle of Wight? I think so.
Yeah, he is.
Well, this is a great effort. The last 3 visits from Keegan Brown, he's had a 132 check out at a crucial time, a 140 and a 180, and it has just taken Andy Boulton out of this match.
He's still riding the adrenaline from the 132 out, and he's using it brilliantly. Could be game over if he goes for it. Why not? What a finish from Keegan Brown. Takes out 132 and 124 to cast Andy Boulton aside.
Well, he could barely hit doubles for the vast majority of that game, and it looked like it might cost him, but it came good. It came perfect at the end, with 2 big ton-plus checkouts, 3 bullseyes hit across the pair of them. Andy Boulton is dumped out in round 1, and the Needle may take on the Iceman in round 2. It'll depend if Gerwyn Price can get past Mickey Mansell. But if he produces stuff that he did there in the last couple of legs, then Keegan Brown might be on for producing a shock here in Minehead this weekend.